and then stand on the other side of it until I knock for you. Yeah. Just lock. No, you can't grab nothing. Lock the door. Sit on the side. Yeah. 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 Right. The old school shit. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing great. I feel so awesome about the music. The album is coming out February 11th. I'm doing the fashion show February 11th at Madison Square Garden. We're dropping the album that February 12th that morning. It's like, yeah. 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 Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it feels like good. It feels like real, I don't know, just yay, Apple, Steve Jobs type music, you know, like, yeah, like, so my next single, I wanted you to tweet it. It's a Good Friday, we're dropping as a Good Friday song, so that's why I'm calling you, that I wanted you to put the song out. Yeah. All right.
Like, what would people, I guess it would just be people would be like, why is this happening?
Well,
I think it had something to do with it, probably.
Well, the reason why it will be happening is because it has a very controversial line at the beginning of the song about you.
What does it say?
Okay, so it says, and the song is so dope, and I've literally sat with my wife, with my whole management team, with everything, and tried to rework this line. I've thought about this line for 8 months. I've had this line and I've tried to rework it every which way, and the original way that I thought about it is the best way, but it's the most controversial way. So it's gonna go Eminem a little bit, so can you brace yourself for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It says, wait a second, you sound sad.
Well, is it gonna be mean?
No, I don't think it's mean.
Okay, then let me hear it.
Okay. It says, and the funny thing is, when I first played it and my wife heard it, she was like, huh? What? That's too crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, when Ninja from D Antwoord heard it, he was like, oh my God, this is the craziest shit. This is why I love Kanye, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And now it's like my wife's favorite fucking line. I just want to give you some premise of that, right?
Okay.
Okay. So it says, to all my South Side niggas that know me best, I feel like Taylor Swift might owe me sex.
That's not mean.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is the thing where I'm calling you, because you got an army. You own a country of motherfucking 2 billion people, basically, that if you felt that it's funny and cool and like hip hop and felt like, you know, just the college dropout and the artist like Ye that you love, then I think that people would be like way into it. And that's why I think it's super genius to have you be the one that says, oh, I like this song a lot, like, yeah, whatever, you know, this is cool, whatever. It's like, you know, like I got like shit on my album where I'm like, I bet me and Ray J will be friends if we ain't love the same bitch.
Oh my
like,
I mean, I need to think about it, because I just need to, like, you know, you hear something for the first time and you just need to think about it.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely crazy. I'm glad it's not mean, though. It doesn't feel mean. But, like, oh my God, the build-up you gave it, I thought it was going to be like, that stupid, dumb bitch. Like, but it's not. So, I don't know. I mean, the launch thing, I think it would be kind of confusing to people, but I definitely think that when I'm asked about it, of course, I'm really like, yeah, I'm the biggest fan. I love that. I think it's hilarious. But I just need to think about it.
Yeah, you don't have to do the launch any tweet. That was just an extra idea I had, like, but not, you don't, if you think that that's cool, then it's cool. If not, I mean, we are launching the shit like on Just Good Fridays, on SoundCloud, on the site, shit like that. But
you know, the thing about me is like anything that I do becomes like a feminist think piece, and if I launch it, they're gonna be like, wow, like this thing, like they'll just turn it into something that I think if I launch it, it honestly, like, I think it'll be less cool. Because I think if I launch it, it adds this level of criticism. Because having that many followers and having that many eyeballs on me right now, like, people are just looking for me to do something dumb or stupid or lame. And it's like almost, I don't know, like, I kind of feel like people would try to make it negative if it came from me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I try to be super self-aware about where I am, and I feel like right now I'm like this close to overexposure.
Oh, well, this one is I think this is a really cool thing to have.
I know.
Definitely.
I mean, it's like a compliment, kind of.
Yeah. I had this line where I said, and my wife really didn't like this one because we tried to make it nicer. So what I said is, for all my Southside niggas that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. And my wife was really not with that one. She was way more into the she owes you sex. But then the O part was like the feminist group type shit that I was like, ah.
That's the part
yeah.
that's gonna kind of, I mean, they're both really edgy, but this, like, that's the only thing about that line is that it's like, it's just the feminists are gonna come out. But I mean, you don't give a fuck, so.
Yeah,
like,
basically. Well, what I give a fuck about is just you as a person and as a friend. I want things that make you feel good. I don't want to do rap that makes people feel bad. Like, of course, like, I'm mad at Nike and bad. And so people think like, oh, he's a bully. He ran on stage with Taylor. He's bullying Nike now, this $50 billion company.
Why are people saying you're bullying Nike?
Because on facts, like I said, like, Yeezy, they line up for days. Nike out here bad, they can't get shit away. They,
yeah.
That is.
That's just what you do, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like possible to bully a company like Nike, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, go with whatever line you think is better. It's obviously very tongue-in-cheek either way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice.
Oh, yeah. I thought I just had a responsibility to you as a friend, you know. And, I mean, thanks for being, like, so cool about it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Like, the heads up is so nice.
Mm.
Like, you'd be surprised how many people just do things without, like, even asking or seeing if I'd be okay with it. And I just really appreciate it. Like, I never would have expected you to, like, tell me about a line in one of your songs, but that's really nice that you did.
Oh, you mean like unexpected shit, like you take the time to give someone a really, really valuable award and then they completely run for president right afterwards? Like unexpected in that type of way?
We have not talked about that. What happened?
I just thought that was wavy. It was vibey. Actually, you know, funny thing, as I thought about the weed and the president, both of those things I thought about in the shower the day before. I just started laughing like crazy. And I was like, I gotta say that I had just smoked some weed and then say I'm gonna run for president. Like, it's gonna be. So those are my basis of. I knew I wanted to say the thing about going to like the Dodgers game with, you know, my daughter and like getting booed and that being scary. And I knew I wanted to say like me changing and thinking about people more since I had a daughter. And then I wanted to say the weed thing, and then I wanted to say the president thing, and everything else was just like off the cuff. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was definitely like it stole the show.
Yeah. It was pretty
and
crazy.
And the flowers that you sent me, I like Instagrammed a picture of them, and it's the most Instagram likes I've ever gotten. It was like 2.7 million likes on that picture of the flowers you sent me.
Yeah. It's some connection or something that I think is really important about that moment when we met on stage. It's something that I think is really important about that, like, and where humanity is going, or now where me and Kim are and having a family and just everything, the way things are landing. Always relationships are more important than punchlines, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody would listen to that and be like, oh, that's a real diss. Like, she must be crying about that line. And I think because of how crazy and strange and fateful the way we met was, I think we have to pick our moments to like do stuff together and make sure it's only really cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can't have it like be somebody else's idea that gets in front of it and they're like, because it's if you're like a really true creative, visceral, vibey like person, it's probably hard for you to work at a corporation. So how can you give a creative, creative ideas, and you're working in a house of non-creativity? It's like this weird. So whenever we talk directly, okay. Now what if later in the song, I was also to have said, I made her famous. Is that Is
did you say that?
Yes, it might have happened.
Oh my god. Well, what am I gonna do about it?
Do the hair flip.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like whatever at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, just you gotta tell a story the way that it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like, you honestly didn't know who I was before that. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if I sold 7 million of that album before you did that, which is what happened. You didn't know who I was before that. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's definitely get ready to trend. That's all I can say.
What's the song called?
It might be called Hood Famous.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Is it going to be like a single, or is it going to be a SoundCloud release? What are you doing?
Oh, this one right here is like fucking Song of the Year type territory.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh, speaking of Song of the Year, are you going to Grammy?
I was thinking to not do it, but I think that this song, you know what? I'm gonna send you the song and send you the exact wording and everything about it, right? And then we could sit and talk through it. But if the song goes and fucking just
More stuff. They just like look at us and they're like, you already have so much. Even if we've made an incredible achievement, it's harder for people to write down our names for some reason. I get it.
I mean,
I get it. It's just human nature. It's envy. It's asking people in our industry to vote for the people who are already killing it.
yeah. Yeah, it's like how so many people wanted Meek Mills to win because so many people wanted Meek Mills to win because just Drake was just killing it for so long. And they were just like, we just need like Meek Mills to like but I think, okay, so that has my mind going through a lot of places to problem solve. But I was talking to Ben Horowitz. Do you know this guy? He's a VC at Dreesen and Horowitz out of San Fran. But he's down with
I
the...
know that name. I don't know him.
It's just like the San Fran clique, that type of thing. Like, he stays down the street from Mark Zuckerberg and shit like that. So I was talking to him and I was like, bro, like me, I'm in personal debt. I'm in debt by a good like 20-30 million ever since the fashion, and still have not made it out of it. So that's part of the reason why I had to go to Rock Nation and the touring deals, blah, and it allowed the whole town to try to feel like they could control Kanye, or either talk to me like I'm regular or have agents do it, but they saw they couldn't. It's like, even in debt, he moves around like he's like a billionaire. I'm like, yeah, I'm a cultural trillionaire. I might have financial debt. So I told Ben Horowitz, I was like, you guys Mark Zuckerberg, or whoever, Tim Cook, you guys have to clean that up. So I'm sending Ben Horowitz my current balance. That means like I'm not up 50, not up 100 million, not up 200 million, not up 300 million. No, negative 20 million. Currently, Kanye West, the guy who created the genre of music that is The Weeknd, that is Drake, the guy who created every single person that makes music right now favorite album is The College Dropout. Every single person that makes music, that is there. But I'm rich enough I have my wife, I went into debt to my wife by $6 million working on the fucking house less than like a few months ago, and I was able to pay her back before Christmas and shit like that. So, when I talk about Nike, the idea that they wouldn't give me a percentage, that I could make something that was so tangible when Drake was just rapping me into the motherfucking trash can, that I could have something that was tangible that showed my creativity and express myself, that also could be a business that I could have a 5 times multiple on and actually be able to sell it for like $100 million, $200 billion. That was very serious. Every conversation, every time I scream at Charlemagne or scream at Sway, that was really, really, really serious. And it also was with my family. I felt like, look, if I'm just an angry black guy with some cool red shoes from Nike 5 years ago, I was going to be visiting my daughter as opposed to be living with her. It would have been like enough is enough. It wouldn't have been cool anymore, because it would have been a group of people, including my wife, that all had at least like 500, 400 million in their account. And then you get the angry black man at the party talking about, I'm the one that put Kim in the dress. I'm the one who did this. I'm that. But it never realized itself. So that's one of the things I just talked to Ben. And I'm really, because I talk about it on the album, talk about personal debt and shit. Just the idea, like, oh shit, this dude with this fucking Maybach that makes fucking $50 million a tour still hasn't lined it up or came out of the point when AEG and Live Nation wouldn't give him a deal. The debt started after Watch the Throne, because I got no deal, but I still was doing like creative projects on my own, shooting a film in Qatar, doing a fashion show, just trying to, be very Disney, be very visceral, be creative. And
I'm sure you've thought about this up and down, but I mean, is there a way to monetize Yeezys in a way that you felt would still keep them authentic, but make them into a multi-billion-dollar company?
Well, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're in the plans of. Yeah, I have no, I'm 100% going to be like a multi-billionaire. I think it's fun that I can like be like Charlie Sheen and be like, hey, like I got AIDS, like that. To me, like I told Drake that the other night, I was like, yo, Drake, I'm in personal debt. And for me to tell Drake, the fucking #1 bachelor in the world that could fucking rap anybody into a trash can, that lives 4 blocks down the street from my wife and like basically fucks all of her friends, that I'm in personal debt, is such a like putting down the sword or putting down the hand or showing the hand, that I don't have my poker face on with any of you guys. I'm just me. I'm just a creative. Everything I did, even when it was mistimed, whatever it might have been from it's always like from a good place. And I know that I'll overcome it. And I know that the world will overcome it, because like I'm going to change the world. I'm going to make people's lives better on some post Steve Jobs, Howard Hughes type shit. Like I'm going to do things with education. I'm going to do things that help to calm down murders in Chicago or across the globe. Things to calm down police brutality, to equalize the wealth meets the class system, because there's a bunch of classes, wealthy people that hate Obama because he's more social, and he wants the people who don't have anything to have everything. And in my little way, by learning how to design is something that's only given to the rich currently. The exact color palette that Hermes uses versus the color palette that Forever 21 uses. A color palette is extremely important. Color is important. The knowledge of proportions, the size of our house versus the size of someone else's houses, and just the dynamics of the proportion. Like, I don't want this conversation to go too long, but I wanted to give you a bit of like where I'm at, the perspective that I'm at, and the fact that I am the microprocessor of our culture. Meaning, like, I can figure out how to give Rihanna a Mary J. Blige type album. I can figure out how to get the fashion world to accept my wife and thus the whole family. I can figure out a lot of I can figure out how to make something that you're wearing to the airport 5 years after the entire globe was like, hang that nigga alive and fucking, and let's watch him die slowly, publicly, so it's a lot. I figured that out for myself, so it's a lot of shit that we collectively, with the power that you have and your fans, the power my wife has, the power that I have, that we can do to really make it where it's not just the rich getting richer, but you know make it not just a fucking charity, not singing for Africa, change things in a way that people can experience shit themselves, a piece of the good life,
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. I mean, they're amazing ideas and amazing concepts, and I definitely, like, would love to talk to you more about it. I know you have to do something right now, but I love that that's where your head is. And it's been like that. I mean, when we went to dinner, I mean, it was the rumblings of those ideas. Like, I like that you're always thinking outward. And, like, over the last 6, 7, 8 years, however long it's been since that happened, like, I haven't always liked you, but I've always respected you. And I think that's what you're saying when you say, like, I might be in debt, but I can make these things happen, and I have the ideas to do it, and I create these things and concepts, and, like, I'm always going to respect you. And I'm really glad that you had the respect to call me and tell me that as a friend about the song, and it's just, like, it's a really cool thing to do, like, and a really good show of friendship, so thank you.
Oh, thank you too.
And, if people ask me about it, I think it would be great for me to be like, look, he called me and told me the line before it came out. Like, joke's on you guys, we're fine.
Yeah, okay, I think that's pretty much the switch right there.
Yeah. Like, you guys want to call this a feud, you want to call this throwing shade, but, right after the song comes out, I'm going to be on a Grammy red carpet, and they're going to ask me about it, and I'll be like, he called me and sent me the song before it came out.
Yeah.
So, I think we're good.
Okay. I'm gonna go lay this verse, and I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Oh, you haven't recorded it yet?
I recorded it. I'm nuancing the lines. Like, the last version of it says, "Me and Taylor might still have sex," and then my wife was like, "That doesn't sound as hard."
Well, I mean, she's saying that honestly because she's your wife, and so I think whatever one you think is actually better, I mean, and obviously do what's best for your relationship too. I think the, like, owes me sex, it says different things. It says, like, owes me sex means, like, look, I made her what she is, like, she actually owes me, which, it's gonna split people, because people who like me are gonna be like, she doesn't know his shit, and, like, but then the people who, like, thought it was, like, badass and, like, crazy and awesome that you're so outspoken are going to be like, yeah, she does. It made her famous. It's more provocative to say might still have sex, because no one would see that coming. They're both crazy. Yeah, do what you want. They're both, like, going to get every single headline in the world. Owes Me Sex is a little bit... It's got a little bit more, like, throws shade, and, like, the other one's more flirtatious, and it just depends on what you want to accomplish with it.
Yeah, I feel like with my wife, she probably didn't like the might still have sex. It was like, it'd be like, what if, like, she was on a TV show, like, and said, me and Tom Brady might still have sex or something, like.
Do what's best. Like, you just had a kid, you're, like, in the best place of your life. Like, I wouldn't ever advise you to, like, fuck with that.
Yeah.
But just, like, pick whichever, it's cause and effect. Like, one is going to make people feel a certain way, and it's just going to be a slightly different emotion for the other. But it doesn't matter to me. There's not, like, one that hurts my feelings and one that doesn't.
Yeah. It's just when I'm pointing this gun, what I tried to do differently than 2 years ago is, like, when I shoot a gun, I tried to point it away from my face.
Yeah.
So one is kind of, like, a little bit more flirtatious and easier. I think so. Really, that means the conversation is really, one is, like, a little bit better for the public and a little bit less good for the relationship. One is a little bit worse for the public and better for the relationship. Yeah.
Yep, I think you're right.
All right. Well.
But just, it's your call, really. I mean, you always go with your gut, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
But amazing. Send it to me. I'm excited.
All right. All right. Cool. Thanks so much.
Awesome. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Cool. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That's fine. Like, we had to get that all the way through.
Yeah, sorry, the battery on this thing died. Which is why I stopped filming.
It's just when it died. If you get some shit like Kanye talking to Taylor Swift, explain that line.
Oh, I know.
There's got to be 3 cameras on that one. We can't miss one element.